The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom.
What is going on, everybody? It is David Palmer, the Leo King, and I am doing a holiday message to you all. And I have a couple things that I want to talk to you all about. Not only just about astrology, but I want to just, from a personal standpoint, give you all my holiday message. It's interesting, as I was setting this up, such Mercury retrograde stuff, I was pushing this out to everybody on the internet, and it didn't work. I don't know what happened. Facebook just froze on me or whatever as I was sending out all this stuff. So kind of a bummer, because I wanted to send this out to my my peeps on the Leo King app to let them know that I'm live right now, and it didn't work for some reason. But either way, we are collecting people, but this is a very weird time. I bet you a lot of people right now are out shopping. I was that person last night. Literally, I was out shopping. But this is a very, very interesting time spiritually for all people. Not only religious-wise, but also spiritually-wise. I think spirituality and religion can find a way to always come together, but they can also be very separate. And I think it's an interesting subject. But I think what also comes up during the holidays is you can either be surrounded by lots of people or you can be all alone. I have spent holidays where I was alone, completely alone. I have spent holidays in jail, believe it or not. I spent Christmas of 2003 in jail. I spent Christmas of 2002 in boot camp. And if you didn't know, I got in jail because I got kicked out of the military. And so I ended up in jail. So I spent 2 years alone in a cell. Boot camp is the cell, even though you got, your friends in the boot camp with you or whatever. It's still not like the greatest place in the world to be. But then I've had the Christmases and holidays where I've been surrounded with relationships that I love and families, and from this event to another, New York and ice skating, and I've done it all. I've done all kinds of holidays, But I think that compassion is something that comes up for every holiday so much. And what's very ironic about holidays, you come into Sagittarius and it's like, woohoo! We're going into the positivity of the holidays. And then you come into Capricorn, it's real serious now. It's like traditional. I got to do the tradition. I got to show up to moms. I got to go to the dads. And then I got to show up with this person. I got to show up with that person. And so there's this kind of interesting aspect that comes up with people, right? It's like we get really excited and then it gets serious. But usually that momentum and that buildup of excitement for the holidays didn't come as strong this year because Saturn was in Sagittarius. So when Saturn's in Sagittarius during the holiday season, Sagittarius is where we build up that momentum. It's where we build up that excitement. It's where we build up that strength. It's where we build up that positivity per se that gives us the ho, ho, ho and the jolly aspect. And it's interesting that that's been the major test of this holiday. Another test has been, how do we react to what's going on in the environment that we're dealing with in life today? A good example would just be the news and what's going on. You know, it's like we're in a world now where the world that we're being shown constantly it's kind of a battleground, you know, between what's right and what's wrong. And there's a lot of uncertainty. We're in the transition in America of presidents and less than a month away from Donald Trump taking office. And so people get really freaked out. This is a Mercury retrograde. Don't forget that. So like, we're going to use the example of Trump today saying, let it be an arms race, okay, between Putin and so forth. Now, this is Mercury retrograde stuff in Capricorn. People need to have hope, and I'm not saying in Donald Trump, and I'm not saying in Putin. Have hope that God has everything figured out. We get way too caught up right now in letting what we see on the media, what we see on our phone, what we see in the news, what we see in life, pull our energy away from us. And this is a time for us to get and regain our energy back and focus it on people that we love, focus it on things that bring positivity into our life, and to make sure that we don't get caught up into all of these stories and all of these things that have really, I mean, sure, as a nation, it has something to do with you, but you know what? You're still going to go poop today in your bathroom. You're still going to just wake up and take your shower. You're going to go to bed in your bed. And none of these things that you see on, whether it's CNN or even if we just go to like Yahoo, even though I'll be honest, Yahoo usually at least has some positive stories, you know? It's like Yahoo gives us something positive usually. I feel really bad about Carrie Fisher and her heart attack, but at the end of the day, this is not really something I want to hear about right before Christmas, just to be honest with you. Like, you know, it's like, I don't want to be hearing, you know, it's like, why do we, it's like we promote this stuff now in the world. Like what's horrible? Like this person's got cancer. This person's got this. It's like, what happened to the positive stuff? And I think that this is a very deep test as Saturn went through Scorpio from 2012 into 2015. And then Saturn comes through Sagittarius. You got to realize that from Scorpio all the way to Pisces, this is the lower half of the zodiac. This comes from past the kidneys down to your genitals, all the way down to your feet, right? This is the lower part. This is also the dark spot in a chart. These are the houses that rule kind of the darker or the lower spots, right? And so we all have to deal with like learning how to bring the light to situations. And I think that this holiday is remembering, what are you attaching your love? What are you attaching your light? And what are you attaching your energy to? Because I think it's so important to bring that positivity through this holiday season right now. Another interesting thing that's happening right now in not only just like the astrology per se, but just in general with this holiday is there is so many planets coming together to form one of the rarest alignments you're going to see in a long time, where they all are going to be at the exact degree. We're going to have up to 5 planets at 20 degrees, which we can actually see. Where is that? Here it is right here. Let's take a look at it real quick. We are going to have, on Christmas, no irony here, okay? Uranus at 20. Jupiter at 20. Saturn at 20. Venus at 20. Chiron at 20. That's 5. Now, if you want to even take a couple hours back, there is going to be a moment here where the moon will be at 20. So there actually will be 6 at one point, all at 20 degrees. I think that it's very important to see and to really pay attention to the astrology that this Christmas, the universe is having us come together through a massive wake-up. A massive wake-up call is being called that in the life that we are moving forward into, especially during a Mercury retrograde period, that we really pay attention to the road that we're picking in our life. And because there is a huge and major pileup in Pisces, right? So actually, let's erase all this, okay? Okay, there's, and this is what I want to talk about, because I got some really big backlash and I want to make some apologies, and I also want at the same time hold my ground on some things. The first thing I want to apologize for is in my last video, I got really upset about people with customer service and how they react and how they could take those things out on my app and on me and so forth. But of course, everything is a reflection on myself. So, you know, it sucks, you know, it's hard. I wish I was in control of all the people that respond to your emails. I wish I could answer thousands of emails in one day, but I have people that are hired to do all this. And I got upset and I reacted. And so, of course, I apologize for reacting in that way. But I also got a lot of backlash about how I believe Pisces, with the South Node and Mars and Neptune in conjunction, can be very dangerous, very toxic, psychotic, and difficult. Now, this doesn't mean that I believe that Pisces is negative, or that Pisces is the worst sign, or that Pisces doesn't have beauty, because in life, and especially in the universe we live in a dualistic reality, a positive and a negative. So with Pisces, and unfortunately with Pisces, it rules the 12th house and it rules the toxic house. So it rules the darker, like subconscious, hidden traps in our life. And it rules being psychotic. It does rule losing your mind, losing reality. It rules schizophrenics. This is the house of it, okay? But the other part of Pisces rules the beauty of media, the beauty of art, the beauty of picture, the beauty of compassion, and the beauty of spirituality. But with the South Node here, there's a deep cleaning up happening. And when you add Mars to it, with the South Node on top of Mars, erase it being in Pisces. Just erase it. Just know that Mars and the South Node have come together, okay? And when Mars and the South Node have come together, you're going to deal with aggressive, masculine, ego, and direction issues in all of our lives that need to be reset, cleared out. And when it's in Pisces, it's where we have our subconscious reactions to things. It's where we fall into our own traps and repeat them constantly. It's where we have to face our darker aspects of those things I just identified and clean them up. And so we saw it with the entry of Mars in Pisces. We saw it with world events. We're seeing it with people spurting out things that maybe they don't want to spurt out, whether it's me spurting out a fuck you, Trump spurting out a let's start an arms race, or the people who hit me up. You should read some of the comments they wrote me. Woo! One girl thought it was atrocious or unacceptable for me to say that Mars entering Pisces was related to my cat throwing up. Personally, I think it actually has justice, but on the other half, I actually think it's kind of funny. And if you didn't know, I try to make fun and have fun of astrology with a good and positive spiritual sense. But some people can't handle that. But on this is, and this is what my holiday message is going to be, is that as we look at all this, we have to clear our own stuff and sometimes face our own shit to be more compassionate. Sometimes we have to face that we are not perfect human beings, that we are not. And this is what Jesus talks about, that we are not perfect. And through our own failures and through our own, what Jesus calls sinning, we find the light through that. We find the light through our own darkness. So when I bring up this darkness that we face in ourselves, it's not a bad thing because it brings up where the light is in our life. And this is an important time for us to bring that light out, to bring that light up through moving through our own darkness. And so on this holiday message I have to you, remember that there are people out there that are alone. There are people out there that are not with families, not with lovers, not with friends this holiday. And so be compassionate on how you're reacting towards people right now. But on top of that, also remember that there are places in the world where they're not even celebrating a holiday right now. It's a normal day and there's bombs dropping on them right now. There's kids going through extreme hardships. And here we are worried about what is happening on CNN as far as what people are saying, what, we're getting worried about, people and if they're going to have a heart attack or not, which we have to be compassionate about. But at the same time, are we going to lose ourselves in this, or are we going to empower ourselves and bring love and light to other people in the world and focus on that, opposed to losing ourselves in these stories, in these things that have already happened? Not what's happening now. Not what is happening now. Because the present is so important, but especially during this holiday, and I ain't going to lie to you, it is not the easiest of Christmases and holidays. But there is a very powerful growth that is coming out of this Christmas and holiday with all these planets that are lining up, right? With all this 20 stuff. But when you do the math of all this 20 stuff, it's pretty intense, and the sun's training the nodes. There is a very powerful time in our life where this Christmas, let it be, or Hanukkah, or if you don't even celebrate any of this stuff, this weekend, if you're celebrating Festivus for this Festivus, where you do let all your shit out, that it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay that you're not perfect in any way, and that the world's not perfect, and that's what makes it so perfect, is that it's not. And if you have trouble right now trying to understand exactly which direction to go, you have to realize that your inner guidance system is going to change constantly with the environment and the things that happen in the present. It's not set in stone like we want it to be. It's not like, oh, well, I was determined to do this and I'm going to do this. It's like, go with the tide and the flow, and be okay with that. Be okay with that. You're not perfect. Your shit's going to come up. And that's why we come together, I think, on this holiday and every holiday, which I think every day should be Christmas as far as treating people good. But I think every day should be a conscious new awareness of the beauty of the universe and how fucking crazy and weird it is, and just sitting in on the ride and loving it. And to not worry about the things that we worry about, especially the things that are not in our control, especially the things that are not having to deal with our immediate environment, but that are outside of our environment. It's like, let's worry about bringing the goodness to life. Let's worry about the things that bring the positive things to light. Thank you so much for being part of the journey with me. I do a end of the year address, which is a much more formal video. I cover the astrology. That was 2016, and then I cover 2017. That will come out next week. But this was just a way for me to talk to you all through this holiday, give you lots of love. let you know that I'm not perfect at all. You know, I am not. I am selfish. I am outlandish at times. I love myself, and that can trigger people. And that's not perfect either. And so I am sorry that I can't be the perfect astrologer that you want me to be. Or as other people would say, I'm not going to watch you. I would rather go watch this astrologer or that astrologer. And you know what? That's what's the beauty of life. If I'm not the astrology you like, I've had to learn to be chill with that. 5-6 years ago, I don't know if I would have been able to hear that. But on this holiday, we all resonate with whatever we resonate with. And why waste the time trying to fix or get lost in trying to fix things that just are not flowing in the way that they should? And to realize that everything is not perfect. You can't be perfect for anybody. And even to yourself or even to God, no matter how much we try. And that's what's the beauty of why God gives us always a million chances. And I recommend that you pray on this holiday because I think something weird might happen on this weekend to us all. We have Uranus stationing in the middle of a very powerful aspect, and it's stressed because there's so many aspects hitting it. This is a major kind of Frankenstein week coming with the new moon and Mars and Uranus. And it will be a wild Christmas week after into the new year. It'll be a very intense end of the year. And I think that we need to remember that we're not perfect. That's okay. And we strive to be better people every day. And I don't want to say that's the best we can do because we can always do better. But this is a time where you can't stress yourself about over being better and better and better. But just knowing that forgiving yourself and asking for forgiveness in others and asking for forgiveness to God especially is what this time is really about. Thanks so much for all your support. I truly appreciate it. I got to run. I got things to do. It's Christmas time. But I truly do love you all. And I will see you guys all. If you're on the app, I'll see you this weekend for the weekend report. I cover everything in a very intimate detail. But if you're not on the app, I will see you for the new moon horoscope and the spiritual dance music next week. Love to you all. Happy holidays.
The Leo King app is the world's first and leading video and notification astrology horoscope app for iPhone, Android, and computer. Get daily spiritual videos and addictingly accurate notifications alongside weekly sun sign horoscopes, tarot videos, and exciting new age entertainment videos by celebrity astrologer and TV personality David Palmer, the Leo King. Join today. You have nothing to lose with a 7-day free trial and wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.
Wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.